Bible in a year, making it easier to understand.
Okay, John, imagine the scene. It's early morning in the Sinai Desert. The sun is just starting to hit the gold on the Tabernacle, what we've been calling God's mobile headquarters for the last few weeks. The smell of incense is everywhere, and there is this electric charge in the air.
It's total launch day vibe, Steph. Seriously, it's like the final countdown for a rocket launch. But instead of heading to the moon, they are waiting for the creator of the universe to literally move into the neighborhood. We are on day 50, and we are finally hitting the 8th day in Leviticus 9.
Right. And the 8th day is such a big deal. We've talked about the number 7 representing completion and rest, like the original creation week. But the 8th day, that's when the real work begins. It's like the first day of the rest of their lives.
Exactly. It's the new creation moment. I love how the text sets this up. Aaron and his sons have been essentially sheltering in place at the entrance of the tabernacle for 7 days of ordination. They've had blood applied to their ears, their thumbs, and their big toes, which sounds super weird to us, but it was their way of saying, everything I hear, everything I do with my hands, and everywhere I walk belongs to God now. It was their official verification, their blue check mark of the ancient world.
I love that. The original blue check mark. But today, the training wheels are off. Moses basically calls everyone together and says, get ready, because today the Lord is going to appear to you. Can you imagine the pressure on Aaron? He's the high priest now, the mediator, the go-between, and he has to get these rituals exactly right.
And he does. He offers the bull calf for his own sin, because, newsflash, the high priest isn't perfect, and then he offers the sacrifices for the whole nation. We're talking goats, calves, lambs, oxen. It was a massive operation. But here is the mic drop moment at the end of chapter 9. Moses and Aaron go into the tent of meeting. They come out and bless the people, and then, boom, the glory of the Lord appears to everyone.
And then the fire, John. The text says fire came out from the presence of the Lord and just consumed everything on the altar. The people aren't just watching a ceremony anymore. They are seeing a physical manifestation of God's yes.
It was the ultimate aura moment. The people see it, they shout, and they fall on their faces. It's this beautiful, terrifying, high-definition proof that God is with them. It's the highest point in the story so far. Everything is perfect. The system works. The relationship is restored.
But it doesn't stay that way, does it? We're about to turn the page to chapter 10, and it's like a cold bucket of water.
It's more like a forest fire, honestly. We go from the fire of acceptance in chapter 9 to the fire of judgment in chapter 10. It's one of those parts of the Bible that makes you want to look away, but we have to talk about why it happened.
Yeah, we do. It's a heavy one today, friends. We're going to take a quick break to process that, and when we come back, we're going to look at the tragedy of Nadab and Abihu and the strange fire that changed everything. Stick with us.
And we are back. Okay, we have to talk about chapter 10. It's the part of the story that makes everyone uncomfortable. Nadab and Abihu, Aaron's 2 oldest sons, the ones who literally just got their new uniforms, decide to do their own thing. They take their fire pans, they put fire in them, and they offer strange fire, or esh zerah, before the Lord. And immediately, fire comes out from God and, well, it consumes them. They die on the spot.
It feels so harsh, doesn't it? Like they were just being enthusiastic? Maybe they were trying to help? For a modern listener, this feels like an overreaction. It's hard to reconcile the God of chapter 9, who is sending fire to show his yes, with the God of chapter 10, who sends fire as a no.
I get that. But here's the modern mirror for this, Steph. Think about high-stakes environments today. If you're a technician working in a nuclear power plant, or an astronaut on the International Space Station, or even a surgeon in a sterile operating room, protocol isn't just a suggestion. It's life and death. If a surgeon says, hey, I know I'm supposed to use this sterilized scalpel, but I really like this pocket knife I found in my car, we don't call that enthusiasm. We call it malpractice.
Right, because the pocket knife introduces bacteria into a space that must be clean. So you're saying the strange fire was like a spiritual contamination?
Exactly. The Hebrew word zar means foreign or unauthorized. God had specifically lit the fire on the bronze altar himself in chapter 9. That fire was holy. It was set apart. Nadab and Abihu likely grabbed some common coals from a campfire outside. They brought the common into the sacred space. It was like they were hacking the system because they thought their way was just as good as God's way.
And the text hints that they might have been drinking on the job too. Right after this happens, God gives a new rule. Don't drink wine or strong drink before you enter the tent of meeting. That's a major red flag. If they were buzzed or delulu, they couldn't distinguish between what was holy and what was just normal.
It's a caught in 4K moment for them. They were the leaders. They had the most responsibility. And James 3 tells us that teachers will be judged more strictly. They were treating God's presence like a casual hangout instead of a high-stakes encounter with the infinite. It's a reminder that we can come to God as we are, but we don't get to come to him any way we please.
The part that really breaks my heart is Aaron. He just saw his 2 boys die, and Moses tells him he can't even tear his clothes or uncover his head to mourn because he's still on duty as the high priest. The text says, "And Aaron held his peace."
That silence is heavy. It's a total main character moment of grief and submission. He realizes that God's holiness isn't a joke. It's like a sun. It gives life and warmth from a distance. But if you try to innovate and jump into the middle of it without the right gear, you're going to get burned.
It makes me appreciate Jesus so much more. Like, we have access to the presence of God right now because he is the perfect priest who never messed up the protocol. He navigated the strange fire of our sin, so we don't have to.
That is the bottom line. We have access, but we shouldn't have amnesia. We should never forget who we are talking to.
Well, if you think chapter 10 was intense, wait until we get to chapter 11. It's the "You Are What You Eat" chapter. We're going to talk about why God cared so much about the menu in the camp. We'll be right back. And we are back for our final segment of day 50. We just moved from the fire on the mountain to the menu in the kitchen. Leviticus 11 is all about what the Israelites could and couldn't eat. John, I have to be honest, every time I read this, I just feel bad for the people who had to give up bacon and shrimp tacos.
I know, right? It feels like the ultimate no-fun zone. But there is so much more going on here than just a divine diet plan. Think of it as a brand identity for the nation. God wanted them to be so distinct that every time they sat down for a meal, they were reminded, I am different. I belong to a holy God.
It's like their whole lifestyle had a drip that set them apart. If you can't eat what your neighbors are eating, you probably won't be hanging out at their pagan festivals or adopting their values. It was a literal wall of separation built right into their dinner plates.
Exactly. And scholars have all these theories. Some say it was for hygiene, and it's true. Bottom feeders and scavengers carry way more parasites. But the main reason was pedagogical. It was a daily discipleship training. Every single day, they had to make a choice. Is this clean? Is this holy? It forced them to live with intentionality instead of just drifting along with the culture.
I love that. It's like God cares about the basic stuff. He's not just in the tabernacle, he's in the grocery store aisle. Even though we're under the new covenant now and Jesus declared all foods clean, which, thank God for that vision Peter had, the principle still holds. We're called to be set apart.
Totally. For us today, it's not about avoiding pork. It's about avoiding brain rot or the stuff that pollutes our souls. We should still have that holy drip where people look at our lives, our choices, our speech, our media, and see that we are following a different script.
That's so true. So, here is your text message summary for day 50. God is holy, and his presence is a gift that requires our respect, whether we are in worship or at the dinner table.
Love it. And your action step for today? Take a vibe check of your routine. Is there one thing you're consuming? Maybe it's a show, a habit, or a mindset that feels common or unclean. Try setting it apart today to make room for God's aura instead.
We are so glad you're on this journey with us. Tomorrow, we keep moving through Leviticus, and believe it or not, it gets even more practical. We'll see you then.
Peace.